Alright guys, so my name is TrichaelMan. I speedrun Resident Evil 4. We're going to be doing New Game Pro, which is where you start from the beginning of the game, and you play on the hardest difficulty, aka Professional mode. And I'm joined by Mike Wave, who is also very good at this game.
Hello.
Yeah. Yeah, this game is very popular. I think it won Game of the Year in 2005 or something. But I mean, apart from it's a very good game casually and to speedrun. It only gets very difficult and frustrating once you go for a very competitive time. But I think let's get started. So I think okay, you ready, Drex? Or
Yep.
okay, all right, let's go. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, I picked normal. Whoops. Okay, so I picked the wrong difficulty. So hold on, we need to restart that really quick. I just autopiloted really hard. Okay, okay, so yeah, so there are actually differences in the difficulties, which is very important to note. Professional enemies are more aggressive. Normal, it's a little bit different. But yeah, here we'll get started here. I don't know, Mike, do you want to talk about what the premise of the game is like?
Yeah, if you mean like lore, basically you're playing as Leon S. Kennedy from Resident Evil 2, several years after Resident Evil 2 happened, and you're basically just looking for the president's daughter and trying to rescue her, and there's a cult involved, and they have these parasites inside of their body, and they're crazy, and yeah, that's basically it. This game, it starts off as a horror game, but later on it becomes pretty goofy and action heavy.
Yeah. I think it's pretty goofy once you start speedrunning it, but it is definitely more action based toward like near the end of the game.
Yeah, I would say even like halfway in, it starts getting like really silly, and that's one of the reasons why like this game is still a bit controversial in the RE community. But I think most people like will still consider this one of the best Resident Evil games just because it's so fun.
Yeah, it's very fun. I like, there's always like, it's not a running gag, but like it's like the truth, because like when I say I'm scared of horror games, but I got bullied in high school into playing this game a lot, so this game is the only quote-unquote horror game I'll play, because like nothing surprises me in this game.
Yeah, I would say you're not the only person. Like, there's a lot of people out there who like they don't really have much experience of Resident Evil, but like they've played 4 and like they love 4. So what you're gonna see TrichaelMan doing here is he's gonna shoot this guy 7 times in the butt, and then he's just gonna run past these enemies with the grenade equipped, and he's doing a little inventory change there for later. And he's gonna throw this grenade out the window, and then he's going to run back outside and kill the remaining enemies with the grenade, and that should end the village sequence pretty fast. Like, this is supposed to be a pretty intense and like drawn out sequence, but we can end it pretty fast by just killing 15 enemies.
Yeah, there's 2 ways to clear the village. 1 is to kill enough people. 2 is to just time it out, but in a speedrun we don't want to time it out because it takes a while.
Yeah,
And you'll see a similar sequence later in the village in the game, where like it's either time it out or kill a lot of people, and we opt to just kill all the villagers.
that is actually one of the more frustrating parts of the run. We'll talk about it when we get there too.
Yeah. But yeah, so far like the village is really like the first hard part for any speedrun to learn. Like throwing the grenade out the window, it's a lot harder than it looks. Like once you practice it, like you get the motion's really simple, but like when you're first starting out the game, that motion is not like as intuitive. Like it's not as easy as it looks, like for sure. And then like both grenades too. Like the grenade out the window is like the first one that's like not too bad. And then the second one, like there's more to it, I guess, like because like you can't throw it too early. The first grenade there's a lot more leniency in terms of timing. It's more about positioning.
I would like to add there that Trike actually waited till the very last possible moment to dodge that boulder, and that actually put him a bit forward compared to where you usually dodge, and that saves about a second. Yeah, we call it tree skip.
Yeah, otherwise if you jump too early, you start behind the tree. So that means you have to actually just, you have to walk around the tree.
Yeah.
Whereas waiting like that extra like half second to dodge a boulder is not a big deal.
Yeah, it's like a very minor time save, but it's kind of like a meme in the community.
Yeah. A lot of people die trying to get it.
Yeah. And that's the end of the first split right there. It's pretty short in the speed run. It's pretty. There will be days where you spend a lot of time just trying to do that first split, though.
Yeah, it's very frustrating, but like I said, it's only frustrating once you get better at the game. Like once you're going for a really competitive time, because then like your first split is normally like your first 2 or 3 splits are normally all about like just being perfect, because there's not much like if you mess up, it's like almost like 90% of the time it's your fault.
I mean, there's some shenanigans that can happen at the village area, but yeah, overall, it's mostly just very. And as you see here, he's running past all these enemies again. Well, we're going to be doing a lot of just running past enemies. He got pretty lucky there by being able to just run around that guy in the barrel. Yeah. A lot of the run is basically just running around enemies, which seems kind of boring, but it actually requires like really precise pathing and experience. Like if you just try to do this like casually, you're on professional at least, you're just gonna get grabbed. So
yeah, some stuff looks easy, like a lot of the stuff. So like there's another little manip. Let's see if I get it. Okay, so I didn't get it. Yeah, but apparently if you kick in a certain spot at the door, then the first guy that I had to shoot will point at you, and you can just run past him. But I couldn't run past him because he decided not to point at me. So he was going to grab me if I didn't shoot him, and obviously we don't want to get hurt or anything.
Strangely enough, there's not too much of like manipulating enemies with movement on MG Pro, I would say. But on other categories like Assignment Ada, for example, it gets very, very important.
Yeah.
It's like these little like things of movement you can do will just like make enemies do specific patterns.
But yeah, so the routing for this game, so in this category, we are allowed to use the merchant. Like, people think using merchant is cheap, but, you know, you get cool weapons. But more specifically, oh, well, that sucks. But, yeah, but what we really want... Yeah. But what we want to do is get enough money to buy weapons for this game. So there is a money route for this game. And mainly we want to get rocket launchers because it kills like a lot of enemies in one hit.
Cheap and overpowered.
Yeah, so you'll see later that all these treasures I'm collecting, I'm gonna sell them so I can get money for to buy rocket launchers generally. And then once we get to a later section, we'll change out our weapons completely. Like I have the handgun and the shotgun right now. Once we get into the castle section, you'll see that we're gonna switch to a completely different weapon set, minus, you know, rocket launchers. And so far, this game has been very optimized. Like
I would say this category, at least this category and New Game Plus Normal, are definitely like the two most optimized.
Yeah. So there's gonna be another hidden treasure. Fun fact: you can't shoot this treasure unless if you shoot the lamp first, because the lamp illuminates the treasures, as you can see right there. That doesn't make sense because it's still like the fire is still there.
What are you selling?
Okay, so we're gonna sell that 30,000 gold, and that gets us exactly 30,000 for a rocket launcher. That's what we want. And then another thing, if you've played this game casually, like you may not know that there are like hidden weapons or like little Easter eggs, like this grenade right here. Like I literally did not know about this until I watched someone speedrun it, and then my mind was blown.
Neither did I. And there's a lot of people I know watching me who've found out about that nade. They're like, "There's a grenade up there? What?"
Yeah, and fun fact, the nest, it respawns again in nighttime, or like there's a nest in nighttime, but it carries like, I think that one carries gold, and this one that I just shot down carries shotgun ammo. So like nighttime does, if you break barrels and boxes or in nests, I guess, in nighttime or in the daytime, then during nighttime they respawn and they actually carry different things.
Yeah, the reason for that actually is because nighttime village is a completely different map than daytime village. Yeah. So all the loot and stuff is just different, and the positions are different and all that.
Yeah, in terms of like obviously like the layout will be the same for most of the village because we're just re-entering it. But there are parts we don't travel in during the daytime that when you try to hack the game, they literally do not exist during daytime.
Yeah.
So,
like
go on.
Trike is coming up on a boss here. He is, no joke, like completely unironically, arguably the most hard boss in this game, like the hardest boss to do in the speedrun. Like casually, like, you know, a lot of people think differently, but in the speedrun, this boss coming up is a very controversial one. And the reason for that is because he gives several different patterns, each of which is slower than the next. And it's the Del Lago boss, which is the giant fish monster, like salamander monster living in the lake that you fight on a boat. And one of the reasons for that actually is because we had to kill him with harpoons. And there's absolutely no way of skipping him as far as we know right now. There is one theoretically possible way, but we cannot do it right now.
Yeah, I mean, as far from what I know is that the door on the other side that leads you into the next section doesn't exist during daytime, right?
Yeah, it does exist, but it's like a dummy door. You can't interact with it at all.
Yeah.
Because you can go out of bounds in this area, actually. At least on this version.
Alright, yep. So if you've played this game before, you'll know that this boss is very frustrating. Like, I'm gonna be doing like small, like I'm gonna be doing precise movement to like dodge this guy.
Yeah, on 60 FPS, which is the frame rate we're playing at, the logs that Tricha's dodging are actually huge.
Yeah,
like, they will knock you.
Oh,
so
just like
far
that. I got hit by.
Oh yeah. I think you moved too far to the left.
Yeah, I did. So like, there is a precise timing for it.
Yeah, this is why this boss is pretty tough. Doing all of this is like one of the hardest things you learn when you're picking up this game. Like, even people who've been running this game for like several months still cannot do this boss correctly.
Yeah, like even like us veterans, like you'll see us on a bad day where like we just get hit by a log or get hit by the Lago himself, and it's very demoralizing because this is like one of those things you spend so much time practicing, and sometimes you just bomb it, you know.
Yeah, there'll be other days too where you do everything correctly, but you'll just keep getting the slowest pattern, which costs you about like 15 to 20 seconds.
Yeah, it's like at least a 16-second time loss.
Yeah, this guy's like pretty much the Dante of this game. From,
Yeah. So okay,
Run.
I made it through. Let's see. Okay,
Yeah,
so
you
I
got
get the
it,
worst
yeah.
pattern. We call that the early dive. So basically, after that fourth harpoon, when he turns you around, like he gives you 1 of 3 patterns, and this is the worst one because he basically dives down and doesn't come up for a while. But if you get and like there's a late dive where you can throw like 5 more harpoons at him. So that saves more time. And there's one where there's a no dive where he literally comes up every time, and then you just like it's just so fast to kill him.
Yeah,
What is happening
really,
right
really
now?
fast. Oh boy, yeah, he's getting a bit of a troll back. Oh yeah, this is the slowest one too. Like out of all the early dive patterns, this is the slowest one.
Actually, there's one more that's like omega slow.
Oh yeah, the one where he's like
he just doesn't come
he's
up.
hidden the entire time. Yeah. I mean, like I guess we're not really trying to PV anymore, so it's fine.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, if this were a competitive run, then like the moment I get hit by a log, that's an instant reset. Like,
yeah,
it's like there's no exit. That's at least like a 40 second time.
Yeah,
at least.
Getting hit just wastes so much more time, even like compared to the early dive. Because getting an early dive already is like an instant reset if you're going for like a top time.
Yeah, if you get hit, then his patterns are also really RNG based. So like, I'm pretty sure no one's explored that because we'd rather just not get hit. But like, I know that when I've been hit before, and then I try to like figure out a pattern, like he gives me the weirdest stuff that I've literally never seen before.
Yeah, one of the first things we teach people when they're picking up this game is like, just when you're doing Del Lago, it doesn't matter if you're doing everything perfectly, just try not to get hit. Like that's the most important thing.
Yeah, like it's fine if you just miss harpoons, as long as, because like the same thing, like there's like a general subset of things that happens. So, but once you get hit, then like things get really weird, and we just rather not have that happen at all. Okay.
So we are in the nighttime village section now. Leon passed out in that cabin for a few hours. He's been injected, by the way, with the La Plagas that all the villagers are infected with, but
it needs time to grow.
He hasn't. Yeah, so he's still like sentient, and we're just dealing with all these villagers again. And we're actually going to be coming up on what might be arguably, the hardest boss in the game, and also everyone's favorite part of the game too.
Like, this could be as hard as Del Lago, but...
Yeah, this boss is no joke. And that's the El Gigante fight.
Oh, what's up, King Muda? Got King Muda in the chat.
God Muda.
Yeah. He's also a good older brother, so I call him Bro Muda. Alright. Hardest boss in the game.
Yeah, watch and learn here, guys. This is really, really tough. Just take notes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Alright,
it.
really, really nice. Good execution.
Yeah. There actually is some execution to it, because if you walk forward, like during the cutscene, and you shoot the rocket, you'll actually hurt yourself. So you notice, like during the cutscene, like I waited for like a quarter of a second, because if I skipped the cutscene while I was holding forward, then I might have blown myself up, and we don't want that to happen. So that's actually a lot of newer players actually get hurt by that if they try to go fast.
It even happens to me every now and then. Like, I'll accidentally, like, hold forward for, like, a little bit too long, like, after I skip the cutscene, and then I just get hit by the rocket.
Yeah. I believe, Mike, you're a top 3 runner at this point?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, and then I'm top 6, and then... Yeah, like, we both, like, do a lot of strategies that are very similar. Like, you'll notice between... Oh, go on.
As you're noticing here, a lot of the puzzles in this game are pretty simple as well. Like, they give people a hard time on their first playthrough, but if you break them down into numbers like 1, 2, 3, like each combination is super simple.
Yeah.
All right, here we have Ashley, everyone's favorite part of the game. This is where the game basically turns into an escort mission. She is the president's daughter, and we just have to protect her and get her from point A to point B safely. She's not with us the whole time, but she can be a bit of a nuisance during the run. I would argue that she's not the most annoying part of the game. When you're like,
when you're
you get
starting
better
off,
at the game,
yeah, once you like know what Ashley like does and doesn't do, then the game gets like having her around is a lot easier. But
yeah,
when you're
like
starting off, like you have to figure out, because like she tends to hide a lot. Like if she's stuck behind an enemy, she'll crouch and she won't move. Like, and then that's the most annoying part unless you kill that enemy or do like a very specific movement. But
yeah, you can go up and like if you just like hug Ashley, like you just like go up right next to her, like she'll usually like be unfrozen. But yeah, once you get used to like how her AI works, she's not that bad, I would say.
Yeah. We can't have Ashley armored because this is a new game professional one where you're starting the game from scratch. So we're not allowed to, even though Leon's Mafia costume is cool, we don't, since Ashley has the armor, that's not a good thing. Uh-oh.
Yeah, we just consider it a new
Ashley
game
got grabbed
item.
at the barn, but
yeah,
that's okay.
that's pretty unlucky. We considered the Special Costume 2 to be like a New Game Plus item, so even though Special Costume 1 is an item you don't get till you beat the game, neither is Professional Mode, but Special Costume 1 on every version of the game besides the NTSC GameCube version is just cosmetic, so we allow people to use it.
Yeah, on the GameCube NTSC version, the Special 1 costume comes with an automatic tactical vest, which reduces Leon's damage by 30. I believe the tactical vest is not available to do on the first playthrough of this game.
It's available, it's just not till like later in the game, like around Island, I don't think.
Yeah, because I thought that you couldn't. Oh well, it's fine. Okay, so we're coming up on Cabin. Do you want to talk about that?
Here, let me just give Trike a moment of silence so he can do this audio.
There's an audio cue here that I'm listening to. Okay, go ahead and talk then.
Alright, so this is the cabin. This is arguably the most random part of the entire run. I'm not even exaggerating or anything there. This is a extremely frustrating part of the run. And so basically this is a timed event or an event that goes on until you kill 40 enemies. And we're here with Lewis, who's like this scientist dude who we rescued. He says he's a cop, but he's not. And he's helping us kill these Ganados. And his kills count towards the kill count, the final kill count that we need to end the cabin section, which is for these Ganados. So you see Trike here knifing him and damaging him, and the reason he's doing that is to stun Lewis so he doesn't shoot these Ganados outside the windows. Because we want them all to come inside so we can throw these grenades to get really fast kills. And as you saw at the beginning, we used the knife also to manipulate him into shooting the first enemy. And as you're seeing here, Trike did all the did all the grenade throws already. This part of the run is very, very technical. Like, he's throwing the grenades out specific windows. He's timing them specifically to get as many enemies as possible. He's like timing it so Lewis gets grabbed, because that makes the enemy's AI really passive. And now that he got around 25 kills using 4 grenades, we're just gonna camp at the top of the stairs with a shotgun and get the final 15 kills. And this is where it gets really random. As you're seeing here, these enemies just come up randomly. They spawn these Plagas, which are these giant tentacle things that can one-shot you if they get close enough. There can only be 2 at once in the cabin. And we're using the stairs also to just keep some distance on them. So,
man, this is bad RNG.
Yeah.
I'm spawning a lot of Plagas.
Yeah,
Okay,
a lot of Plagas. And you also got bad RNG at the beginning, I think.
Yeah.
Lewis didn't kill one of the enemies.
Yeah, on the first wave, after I throw like the first, I believe, 2 grenades, I go upstairs, grab a hand grenade, a flash grenade, then come down. And Lewis is normally in, like, I'd say 70% of the time he's in his spot, his normal spot, but I guess we got that 30% of the time where he is not in said spot.
Yeah, he'll just wander off to like a weird spot, and it just makes the cabin like 10 times more difficult.
Thanks, top tier. I see you in the chat, bro.
Yeah, so he picked up all the items also in a very specific order, so our inventory would end up nice and clean for when we get the castle.
Yeah, if you don't pick it up in the right order, there's actually a good chance your inventory is screwed.
Yeah, and you're just gonna when you're going for top times in this game, a lot of where the time save comes from is just getting better at inventory management and just knowing when to pick things up, you know? Just so you spend the least amount of time possible doing stuff in the inventory, because that all counts towards your time.
Yeah, a very underrated skill that mid-level players don't have, but higher-level players have, is they constantly check their inventory. Like, since the route is pretty much ingrained in our heads, like, we check our inventory to see when our next item, like the next item we use, we check where to, like, where it is in our inventory, so we know where to pick it up.
Yeah, just so, you know, like, when you need to use this grenade in this room, you can just immediately switch to it. Like, you don't need to, like, you know, wander around in your inventory going like, oh, where's that grenade?
Follow me.
Yeah, this is for top tier.
Yeah, this part right here is, we're just shooting these dudes off. Pistol. Ashley's giving her a little fist bump.
I personally, I hate shooting like this because like I can't get used to it. But,
when you tell Ashley to wait, your camera actually zooms in more, and when she's following you, it's kind of like zoomed out, and it's a bit harder to aim.
Hello, President's daughter. Yeah, so Ashley has the Plaga as well. She's had it for longer than we did.
Yeah.
I'll potentially talk about the plot of the game later, but like the plot of this game is actually like it's pretty interesting. Like it's simple and interesting, and it's not difficult to follow. Yeah. Really. Where can we go to run about the run? There is if you go to speedruns.com, there's a forum there. There's a Discord links there, and everyone is really helpful in the community.
Yeah, there's a bunch of tutorials also on YouTube. Pitted made a tutorial a while ago that's like I would say 70% up to date still.
Yeah, I recommend the
also,
JTB tutorial currently. It's a very brief and short tutorial, but it covers
JTB's. Or?
Yeah, JTB's current tutorial it's probably like 93% modern. So
yeah. Use those two and use the Discord. The Discord is very, very helpful.
Okay, so this boss, Mendez, is very... Casually, he's very hard.
Yeah.
But you don't realize that he... Okay, I got the worst pattern. This is the worst RNG day. But he is weak to fire. So, like, if you saw there, that last grenade, so I just threw, like, 4 or 5 grenades at him, and an explosion barrel. So the last fire grenade I threw, it triggered the explosion barrel, so he takes damage from both. But... in general, yeah, if you try to beat this guy casually, like, he takes a lot of ammo to kill.
Yeah, we basically just used these incendiaries we were picking up all the way up till now. There was 4 of them that we needed. He actually takes 5 incendiaries to kill in 30 FPS as well as a knife slash, but I don't know
Yeah.
why, but on 60 FPS, he just takes more damage from
Probably
incendiaries,
because
I
like
guess,
the
or,
game
his health is
pulls
different.
twice as fast, so he might be taking
Yeah.
like maybe like one of the last frames he's
Yeah, he might be taking like double damage or something. I'm not exactly sure.
But yeah. So fortunately on the ride up we don't have to worry about a gondola thing, but
Yeah, it just instant goes back up to where we started.
yeah, so we're about to transition to the second part of the game, which is arguably probably the hardest part to learn because there's
Yeah.
so much to do. So
I would say it's definitely the hardest part of the game, and as well as the longest, which is the castle sequence. This is like probably the most memorable part of the game for a lot of people, just because there's just a lot of iconic moments in the castle, and a lot of I would say it has like a bunch of the hardest rooms in the entire run,
Yeah.
as well as one of those coming up. So this truck's trying to ram us, but we're just gonna like shoot.
yeah, when you look at this later, you'll actually it doesn't make sense where that truck comes from.
It doesn't, no.
Because one thing you'll notice here, so I'll walk. So here, we'll leave Ashley behind because I don't like her.
Yeah.
But you'll notice the truck was right here the whole time. And I mean, I guess they waited. But how did they drive it, right? Like, you can't get it through the
Yeah, I
castle,
know.
like, and like you
Well,
notice.
I don't know. Like the bridge seems like it's down. Maybe they were making like deliveries or something.
But if you look in this room, there's no way a truck can get in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, the game doesn't have to make sense to be fun, you know. Oops.
All right, this is the part we were talking about right at the beginning of Castle. You see here, Trike is just doing a complete inventory overhaul. Like he's using completely different weapons now.
Yeah, we do keep the rifle, TMP ammo, and our flash grenades.
Yeah, that's the only stuff we need, but otherwise we're selling the pistol and the shotty for the TMP and the rifle, as well as an additional rocket launcher for later. And the reason why we're using the TMP now is a lot of people will like ask this question often, like, why use the TMP? It's kind of bad casually. In the speedrun, the TMP is amazing.
Yeah.
It just has a lot of ammo. It's basically just a better pistol. We can just use it for crowd control. We can use it to solve a lot of puzzles. It just has a lot of ammo naturally, so we don't have to reload it that often. And ammo for it's really easy to find. It's just a really, really nice weapon that just has to stun enemies to do all the puzzles.
Yeah,
and stuff.
remember we don't really kill enemies with the pistol, nor do we really kill them with the TMP.
Yeah,
so
we're
we
just
just want to
shooting them
shoot
in the
and run, yeah. Because the TMP has really quick aiming time and like I guess unaiming time. So like Leon picks up the TMP fast and sets it down fast, much faster than the pistol.
Yeah.
And also the firing rate of the TMP I believe is 0.10 of a second, where the pistol is 0.4. So on top of the prep time, it fires faster. So
Yeah.
that's why we opt and use the TMP.
And we're going to be using it for most of the run as well.
Yeah.
I think it might be the weapon we have for the longest period of time in the run. We have it for like an hour or something.
Yeah.
And also, you saw us buying a rifle. Oh yeah, by the way, when you shot that cannon, it despawns all the enemies in that room.
Yeah. So essentially we use, oh my gosh, what am I doing? Wait, I'm gonna make sure, is that the right, okay, that's the right sword. I like quadruple mash, and I put in the wrong sword. Like,
Yeah. So you also saw Trike buy a rifle, the semi-auto rifle specifically, which is the one you don't need to, you know, it doesn't like you don't need to like recock it each time you fire.
yeah, it's my personally my
the reason-
favorite, my most favorite
Yeah,
weapon in the
it's
game.
one of my favorite weapons as well. It's also pretty overpowered because it can just one-shot most enemies if you shoot them in the head. Like all these normal enemies right here, if you just shoot them in the head of the rifle, even if they have a shield up, it just destroys them.
Bro, wow,
Have
this is
trouble
interesting.
picking up that
This is
key.
a very,
Oh boy.
this is very
You
interesting.
can't pass that.
I'm getting like every like bad movement, but also like worse RNG, like completely. Like I think when I was doing the sword room, I got the quick guy,
Follow me.
so that was interesting.
Yeah, so these shield enemies, by the way, these guys are immune to flashes, so you got to be pretty careful around them. And the flails that these enemies carry now is probably the most overpowered
Annoying.
enemy weapon in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's insane.
It does a lot
It
of
just
damage.
has really Does
the
a lot of
range.
damage, has a super fast wind up, and it has a ton of range. It can get you from like super far
And
away.
remember earlier when we mentioned about Delago's 60 FPS making hitboxes bigger, like the maces, sometimes it doesn't make any sense.
It
like,
doesn't make any sense at all, yeah. And
like,
I think the active frames on it last for a long time, too.
yeah, because like if you can actually get double comboed by a mace and just instantly die, and it's like you can't do anything about it. Alright, Gyarados, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, you're gonna see Trike here just go for one body shot and then 4 pocket shots on this Gyarados, and that's gonna do it to him. Yep, there we go.
Yeah, it looks really cool, and I'd say it's one of the few tricks that it is as hard as it looks.
Yeah. Probably like the most PogChamp part of the run.
Yeah. Oh, also, do you want to mention okay, we're on Waterhall, but we should talk about the rescoping semi-auto later.
Yeah, I'll talk about Waterhall first. This is probably the most notorious room in the game. A lot of people casually have problems with this room.
A lot of people speedrunning have a lot of problems with this room too.
This room's pretty tough also if you're speedrunning as well. And the reason for that is just because there's so many enemies in this room. It's just really overwhelming. So yeah, you're seeing Trike here just run past everyone with the TMP. This is where the TMP really shines. It just does such amazing work for his crowd control, man. He's just gonna shoot all these enemies in the leg really fast. And, like it'll just
like that. Look at that. Like shooting these guys like in the leg, like with the pistol would take longer.
Yeah, like you can go up like right in their face too, right as they're about to hit you. Like just pull out the TMP really fast and just do a body shot on them, and that'll stun him. It's incredible. And he's gonna use that that incendiary right there to do crowd control to make sure those enemies can't get near Ashley as she's cranking for us. Yeah, these enemies are gonna come down. Trike is just gonna run to the right of them though, right here. We're doing some movement manip. Yep, past him, and there we go.
Yeah, we go to the left side of that crank first because so the enemies go to the left, and we just route them to the right of the crank, and then we run around them. I made it look easy, but you know, there's Mike and I, we have a saying like we see something new in Waterhall like every run.
Yeah, you just see an enemy do something weird for the first time ever, even if you have like over 1,000 hours in this game.
Yeah, top tier. This is the hardest room of the game, unless if you count like Del Lago. Like,
so this part right here, we're just gonna be protecting Ashley like while she's doing these frames. It's pretty much an auto scroller, so I would say this part is a lot more relaxed than the first half of Waterhall. Also much easier. But yeah, you're also gonna be doing a lot of these like trick shots here.
Yeah, it looks complicated, but we have a set route, so once you learn the routing in the game, it's very not hard.
Another note I want to make right now is also that you're seeing Trike pick up a lot of money now. Like every time like an enemy drops money, we're picking it up now. And the reason we're doing that now and we weren't doing it at Village is because the enemies in the castle actually drop way more money than the enemies in the village, which sort of makes sense. It's supposed to say like the monks are rich and like the villagers are like, you know, like in poverty. But
how many rifle shots are you allowed to miss? I haven't done the. I think
you're only allowed to miss like 2.
I mean, but we can get the rifle ammo in 3-3. So I don't.
Oh yeah, so it's like 5 or something.
Yeah, top tier has that. Like I think we can definitely lab it, but we also want to keep a safety rifle shot for an RG part later in the castle.
Yeah.
So, but
because there is a part where like enemies can do something random and you might need the rifle to clear them out. Leon. Yeah. Alright, that was a pretty solid Waterhall overall.
Yeah,
I would say. So,
even though I missed one shot, like since this is an auto scroller, I did it.
Yeah, it doesn't waste any time at all if you miss like shots here. Actually,
yeah,
as long as you just get back in time to catch Ashley.
Because it really depends on what the rifle shot, how much rifle ammo is in 3-3. But overall, this Waterhall
I think
is pretty solid.
Shot. I haven't picked that backup round in like a while.
Yeah.
All right, that's the end of 3-1, and Coming up, we have what, in my opinion, what is the worst chapter in the game, just because it is so random, and also the introduction to the most notorious enemy in speedrunning this game, which are the Viscadors, and they're these invisible bug enemies you're gonna see right here. And the reason they're so notorious is because they're very random, and they like to do whatever they want, pretty much. You're gonna see Trike here turning his camera to manipulate them into swiping at him, which is the pattern we want.
If you face them, there's a chance they give you a quick time event. We abbreviate QTE, but there's a kick animation where if you don't dodge it, like 99% of the time, you will get kicked by them.
Yeah.
And we do not. Okay, I got bad RNG again. This sucks.
Are they gonna be in the cage here? Oh yeah, that's really bad.
I got early, dude. Yeah, I got early.
So that Novi being in that spot is insanely bad RNG. Just because on 60 FPS, if that Novi is standing there, they will just body block you in.
Yeah.
And there's another Novi behind you, so you don't deal with that Novi, then the other one is just gonna combo you, and they're just gonna like kill you, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Especially since you're in that closed area as well.
Yeah. So you're just forced to throw a flash, which we needed for other parts of the run. So he's gonna have. Trike's gonna have to take a bit of an L here.
Yeah, there's a time loss because this next room there's a cutscene that we can skip if we throw the flash grenade because it stuns all of them and it doesn't trigger the cutscene. But luckily, I guess one of the flashes is technically a backup flash because I didn't want to use it in the sewers, but you can, and it's actually perfectly okay. Because I'd rather use it than suffer than like just lose the run completely.
It's better to just lose that flash and like lose 5-6 seconds than it is to lose your entire run just from getting combo.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say this might be the worst RNG I've had in a run, like in general.
Really?
Like
I mean, I feel like Cabin was good.
Yeah, Cabin got a weird which isn't bad.
Yeah. But it ended pretty fast, it felt like.
Yeah, it did. But Del Lago, we got like the second worst pattern.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, I'm gonna have to reset this room. So I missed the shot on the dude. You have to take a little bit of time with this.
You have to hit 3 shots on this red zealot unless you get lucky and one of your bullets crit. And that's also a mechanic in this game. Like your guns can like do a critical hit on enemies like randomly. It's more noticeable with the pistol, but with the rifle you can potentially 2-shot this guy, and that's a huge time save if it does.
I've never seen a 1-shot on this guy yet.
I don't think it's possible. I think he has too much health even with the crit, because the red zealots do have more health than the normal zealots.
Yeah, so that was perfectly executed this time.
Yeah. And then he's gonna shoot this barrel to clear these guys out.
Yeah.
Or it's not gonna kill the flail guy and one more guy. Yeah. The flail guy can be a bit of a troll here sometimes. Yeah, you got the drop down pattern. That's pretty trolly right there. Oh, he got lucky too.
Yeah, you can. That's like 3 out of 3 where I've made it. If you are close enough to that guy when he jumps down, like he should not get you, I think. But
yeah, overall, you just hope he doesn't drop down there at all. That he just stays down by the door and then like he moves when you drop down. This is another pretty random room right here, the gallery section. And you have these like rocket launcher guys coming out of the walls to like shoot rockets at you from behind the
bad RNG.
And you have like the giant.
This is the worst RNG. Oh wow! Like.
So, oh wow, and the bald guy's still alive. That's pretty rare. So yeah, normally that first wave of rocket launcher guys don't kill enough enemies to spawn the archers, which you need a certain amount of kills for. But it happened to Trike. It's like a 1 in 10 thing, and also he got unlucky in that bald guy just came in the room super fast to grab him. Like that's like the most dangerous enemy in this entire room is that bald guy just trying to grab you.
Yeah, and sometimes when you open the door, you can like there could be 0 people, there could be like 6 people.
Sometimes there's 0 people. Sometimes you open it and like you immediately get grabbed.
And there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, and you have no time to react at all. Or like a scythe guy will immediately like just try and swing at you. It's pretty bad.
And like you can't do anything because you're in the door opening animation, which is like super unfortunate.
Yeah, you have a bit of like lag after the animation. So right here, we're getting to the dog maze, where like these dogs, these like Plagus dogs, like chasing you around. But most of the time, they don't do anything to you, and the reason for that is as long as you don't run directly at them, then they will not do anything to you. Like they can jump at you, but they're gonna miss you.
Yeah, there's also to dodge their tentacle parasites. Like they eventually spawn. You aim your camera just straight up, and it looks really scary. But there's only one section where you really have to do it, which I'm gonna do. So
Yeah.
yeah, but also on professional, if you get hit by a tentacle dog, you get one hit KO'd. So
yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, like this, they'll never hit you no matter what, unless if you're standing still. But then again, yeah, you should be fine.
Yeah, they control you still sometimes. Like me and a couple of other like top runners have gotten grabbed before from behind randomly by dogs. It's pretty bad, but it's pretty rare also. It's like a 1 in 100 chance.
Yeah. So oh yeah, do you want to talk about you want to talk about the semi-auto reload?
All right, yeah. So the rifle in this game, you can see it has a bit of lag in between shots. Like you have to wait like on it. It's not like almost like a cooldown before you can like shoot the rifle again, even if you're scoped in. But if we quickly zoom in, like if we just quickly let go of the rifle and then zoom back in, then we can just quickly do another shot faster than waiting. Oh yeah,
I was in no merchant mode, so yeah. So there's another category. It's called no merchant. What the? But yeah, the another category called no merchant. You do it without using the merchant. Just press forward.
Yeah.
It's I have my splits on the side too. If anyone were wait. Oh, this is the worst. That is straight up the worst RNG I've ever had in this game in one run. So the Callan keyboard. It's.
All right, so we recently did discover a new strat for this room right here, where we release Ashley from the chains. Still in the testing phase, in the labbing phase, but Trike's just gonna do the standard rifle strat here. He got good RNG actually. There's a bit of RNG here with how that last enemy he shot dies. If he just flies back, then the death animation for him is faster, and that means Ashley starts running sooner. But there's another pattern you can get where like you shoot the enemy in the head and he just keeps walking towards Ashley, and that causes Ashley to be a bit slow. But we got lucky, and he's gonna throw this grenade after shooting that red zealot to just clear out all the other enemies, and that's gonna make Ashley start running again.
I got the key. I can get out.
Do a bit of looting here while we're waiting.
Yeah.
And we are now Ashley.
Yeah, this is actually one of the coolest parts of the game, because this is a section which I guess no one playing the game casually for the first time would ever expect, and it's scary in its own right. Like
I did not expect it at all. I'm like, oh wait, what? Yeah, this part is pretty simple though in the run. We're just gonna run past these enemies and just crank these two cranks. And most of the time you're safe. Like this bald guy will be walking at you, but okay, yeah, you're fine. We opened the gate up just enough.
Yeah. Give me one moment. I can. Actually, I can just pause. We're fine. My timer, my split says. Let me see. Wait a minute. My LRT did not pause while. Okay, well this run.
Oh, you probably have the wrong script.
Yeah. We are roughly at around 42 minutes right now, Drex. So you can probably do like 42, like 40, or maybe 43. If you start at 43 from receiving my message at this time, then you should be good.
Oh yeah, this is a pretty spooky section right here too, where you have the like Ashley conjures up a flashlight out of nowhere, and also what is maybe the hardest puzzle to do casually, yeah, but we do it pretty fast.
Yeah.
You just turn all the tiles around counterclockwise, and it works. Yeah, this is where the suits of armor come to life right here. Yeah.
Hey, buddies.
Yeah, we're just gonna run past them, and they can't really do much to you. And yeah, you have these QTEs like out of nowhere, like this knight tries to swing at you, and these are knights actually possessed by Plagas parasites. They're not. They didn't just magically come to life. There's a tiny bit of an explanation, albeit it's kind of dumb.
Yeah, because the parasites are supposed to take over like living things. I don't know.
Yeah, and knights are like inanimate.
Yeah, there's some parts of this one that doesn't make sense, but you know, we as speedrunners just accept it for what it is.
Yeah, we don't really care. We're not running for the lore. Okay, and that should be the end of the Ashley section right there.
Yeah. Cool. Alright, so we get Leon back, and unfortunately we also get Ashley back as Leon.
Yep. Gotta babysitting time again.
Gotta babysit. When lore run, I can talk about the lore. I don't know what happens at this point right now, but Lewis, earlier in the castle, I did skip a cutscene really fast, but you do find Lewis. And then he's gonna try to find. He gives you some pills that suppress the effects of the parasite to Leon and Ashley. And then the reason why we lost Ashley in the sewers was because I guess she didn't take the pills, or since she had the plaga longer, she was more affected by it. And then she gets all like angsty and moody at Leon, and then she runs off and gets caught in one of the castle traps. So
that part, like even watching that cutscene, didn't make sense to me. Like she just starts coughing up blood, and Leon goes like, "Hey, are you okay?" And she's just like, "Leave me alone," and then like runs off.
It makes sense. Like if you're not feeling well, like I'm guessing, like I assume the side effect of the plaga is like ridiculous too, you know?
Yeah, like maybe if like you become like super moody or something, like that's a side effect.
Yeah. So also whoever built this castle somehow found a volcano in only like 1.5 rooms of the game, which I feel like you would already die.
Yeah, just from like heat exposure probably.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, the trap wasn't really like crazy because there's a door on the side, and the cutscene to lose Ashley triggers before you get to that door. So it's not. So I guess Ashley just wanted to be away from Leon. Like, doing a little bit of psychoanalysis here. By no means am I an expert at this. But...
And yeah, that room's pretty straightforward. You're just basically waiting on the carousel cycle in the middle. It basically determines a lot.
Yeah, a fun fact is that if you the locks that I shot, if you shoot it too early, it actually doesn't have a hitbox, so it'll
you have to wait.
Yeah, the bullet goes right through it. So there's a like, and also like even if you do it early, even if you shoot like you won't be able to make an early carousel cycle hypothetically, probably.
I should also mention that this we just unlocked the door we were trying to unlock for like the past 20 minutes. Like
yeah,
we just basically spent 20 minutes trying to unlock that one door. Yeah. And one of the big potential skips we're looking for, we don't know if it's possible or not, is called Chimera Wall Skip, which would basically be going through that wall, and that would cut off about 20 minutes of the run, including like 3-2 and like basically half of 3-1. So it's pretty sought after. It's been sought after for a while, but we still have not found anything.
Like you can skip it, but in theory, like it's basically like because once Leon triggers the cutscene in that room, so but Ashley doesn't. So in theory, if you
got past like the little trigger point,
if Leon can get past that door without the trigger, he can just tell Ashley to follow him, and then you'll be on the other side. But there's no way to get Leon through that side, as far as we know.
Oh, and you're gonna see these two bros up here. They've been in this hole their entire life with this drill, just waiting for this one moment to get you, and they fail miserably.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Like, if you actually look, there's like no way they could have had that drill there. It was just sitting there for like who knows how long, dormant.
Yeah, and hopefully it might be like barrier skip.
Yeah. The same. It's the same thing actually with cabin. If you get past this small little trigger point, which triggers the cabin and village, Ashley can go through it. But if we can get Leon past it, it's possible to just completely skip it, and that would be huge for this game. But as far as we know, there's no way to get Leon past it without triggering it or going out of bounds.
All right, knights.
Yeah, so you're gonna be in this room. You fight 2 waves of 3 knights, and we're just gonna shoot them once in the head with a rifle shot each, and that's gonna cause the Plagas to be shown. And every Plagas in this game dies instantly from exposure to a flash. So that's where flash grenades become like ultra useful, as well as because they just stun enemies. Believe it or not, flash grenades are like the most overpowered grenade in the entire game, like by a large margin.
Like they'll either kill Plagas, which are a pain, or they'll stun everyone, which is amazing.
Yeah, you can just use it to get past rooms super easily.
Yeah. Oh, also that's part of the lore. If you pick up like these little sheets of paper, like in one of Lewis's memos, it says that like these parasites are sensitive to UV light, so that should be a hint where it's like, oh, like maybe a bright source of light or my flash grenade should be able to get rid of these guys, you know.
We're gonna be doing some movement manip here. Trike move to the left side of the room and basically just aggroed enemies, and that's another thing we didn't talk about. You can tell Ashley to wait follow, and telling Ashley to follow you will aggro enemies from really far away, so we use that to our advantage. That's one of the things she's used
Okay,
for.
so remember those bugs earlier in the sewers? So they got...
Oh, yeah.
So there's a downgrade that they're not invisible anymore, but they got a huge upgrade in the form of that they can use HMO2, aka like fly.
Yeah, when they're flying, they are much more dangerous, and the reason for that is because they can just immediately go up to you and grab you, and there's just nothing you can do about it. This is another huge like random part of the run.
How did that hit
a
me?
massive reset point.
I actually don't understand how that one hit me.
Oh, yeah, that's a big hitbox.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, this room is pretty monka shake. Like when we get to this point in the run and we're like on good pace, like everybody in chat is just monka essing pretty hard.
RNG, Jesus.
Yeah,
please.
blessing RNG and hoping that the bug grabs you.
Dude, one time I triggered the cutscene and I got grabbed within like the first 2 seconds, and like there's nothing I could have done about that. And like, you know, there's like this game is it's not fair sometimes, you know?
Yeah, this is the longest chapter in the game, and it's also the most random alongside 3-2 and another one coming up at the very end of the run.
Yeah.
And that like half of this split is extremely random. Just like you can randomly get staggered by a mortar there. Trike didn't. He got lucky.
Yeah.
There's gonna be some archers showing up here. They can just randomly shoot you. There's nothing you can do about it. You're gonna grab that herb, right?
Yeah. It also it helps your inventory, because if I'd want the upper row to be filled before I grab the shotgun ammo later.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
most likely I'm gonna grab the red herb just to fill that spot.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, inventory management is important. Like there's like better players, they look at their inventory and they realize that maybe I need to pick up or discard like a certain item like really fast
before it messes up your inventory.
Because if you have a messy inventory, like you waste a lot of time looking for items, which once you get better, you definitely do not want that to happen.
Yeah, like picking up handgun ammo by accident is like one of the great tragedies in this game. When you're like past village, you're just like, no, I have to get rid of this handgun ammo now. Got the ninjutsu pattern right there, where these two enemies are like basically, shadow and clone jutsu, where like these two enemies are right on top of each other.
Wow. I'm gonna just do that.
I would just reset that room. If you get hit by virtue, you die.
Oh boy.
Oh, you can grab that green herb in that room, probably. Oh boy. Hope they don't grab you. Alright, nice. And we're gonna go ahead and pick up. We're like picking up the money of like every boss in mini boss, like the money they drop.
Yeah, like you need at least like 9,000 gold to clear like this game. Like I made a spreadsheet. Like it's around like 9,000.
Welcome.
We're also gonna pick up the crown here. The crown is the most valuable treasure in the game when you combine it with 2 other pieces that we're gonna get soon, and we're gonna sell that to just get a ton of money. It sells for 50k, quite a lot.
All right, so we have a pretty big glitch.
Oh yeah, this is a very important part of the run. This right here is probably the most well-known glitch in the game. We call it Ditman glitch. A lot of people know it as the striker glitch. And basically, the striker is the most important weapon in this entire game. It's like this really good shotgun that you can get. But the reason it's so good is because if you switch to another weapon mid-aim before the laser on the striker pops out, you'll run at like 1.5 speed with that weapon you now equipped. So you're going to be seeing us use it throughout the entire run now. It's just such an insanely good glitch. So useful. Obviously, because you're just running faster. It's easier to run past enemies. We can do a bunch of out of bounds with it. It's really nice.
So I actually took a big risk there because
that was
I would have died straight up if
you would have just died instantly if you got hit.
At the health that I was, if I got hit by one of the QTEs, it spells instant death.
I think that might be the hardest trick to do in the entire game is the Verdugo QTE skip, and this boss is arguably one of the hardest bosses, but we're just gonna kill him with the rocket launcher. He actually doesn't die if you hit him with the rocket launcher. You have to freeze him.
Yeah, because freezing him, I believe, it multiplies his damage that he takes by 3.
Yeah. So you shoot him with the rocket, and instead of doing 10,000 damage, it does 30,000, which is enough to kill him. So yeah, one rocket directly will not do enough damage. Even when he's frozen, and if the rocket doesn't hit him directly, it won't kill him. He has a lot of HP. And the reason why is because the devs, I think, intended for you to just run away from him and time out the fight, which is the other way you end that fight is by just waiting. I think it's like 6 or 7 minutes. Pretty elevator here.
Yeah, so look at that, my inventory is clean, and that's the important part.
Yeah, killing Verdugo actually gives you one of the crown pieces we need also to make the full treasure that we're gonna need the money for later.
Yeah, and it helps with our money routing in the run. If you miss any part of the crown, I would just reset like instantly.
Yeah, it's pretty much over.
Alright, so with that Ditman glitch, not only do we move like 1.5 times, or is it twice or 1.5?
1.5.
Yeah, not only do we move like 1.5 times as fast, but like certain animations are 1.5 times as fast as well. Like the zip line that we're taking. And the fun fact, the zip line is not affected by Ditman when it's like coming back. So what's gonna happen is that once we take the zip line once, the zip line has to go back, right? But with the Ditman, you're fast enough where the zip line is not all the way back. So once you start it again, it goes the full length, and you end up out of bounds as a result.
Yeah. So we can skip this double Shigake fight here. So that would normally take a while.
The third and last time we meet these bugs.
Yeah.
So.
This is
whoa.
So there's
that
3
was
rooms.
Close.
There's 3 rooms with no Vistadors, and we call them like the layers of hell. So like first room is first layer of hell, second one the second layer, and this one's the third layer of hell. I consider the second one to be the hardest one, but this one's also pretty nasty in its own right. A lot of runs end here. Like we often say, like, you don't have a run till you're past this room right here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and the striker's really nice here, as you see. So the flip side of like the Novi's being able to fly is that they take extra damage while they're flying. So if you just hit them once like that while they're in the air with the striker, it'll just one-shot them.
Yeah,
and
so this is clean.
Yeah, you're seeing him do the camera manip right there. He just turns the camera, and instead of kicking you, the Novi's are going to be manipulated into swiping at you.
Normally, you would need to trigger that lever so it pauses these like smashers, but with the Ditman, we're fast enough where it's we're good.
Funny enough, so the reason you're seeing us switch to a grenade very often is because the grenade actually normally gives you 4% extra movement speed compared to weapons. It's the grenade, the rocket launcher,
normal rocket,
and no weapons and an egg.
Yeah,
Those four will give you the extra 4% movement speed.
Yeah, essentially, like what it is, if Leon is using 2 hands to hold a weapon, then he will move slower.
Yeah, and in that room specifically, at the crushing pillars, if you dip man to a weapon like that gives you slower movement speed, you actually cannot make it. You'll die to the last pillar. So it's pretty important that we are running with the grenade and that we are full health, because being in the danger state in this game does make you run slower, as it does in the other Resident Evil game.
Yeah. Even with Ditman, if you're in, a lot of our tricks are only accomplished when you're at full health. When you're at full health and Ditman, so if you're in the yellow, then you will not make certain cycles that you would normally. So there's this room that's like named after me. One of our top gunners calls it, oh yeah, like this, I don't want to get trichled here. So, because I'm known for like messing up in this room a lot. But
this room is pretty similar to a room earlier in the castle area where you have to shoot these ceiling lights, except these ones have like ceiling spikes on them, and you have these little plaga spiders running around. There's 2 of them, and if they jump on you, like they do a lot of damage.
Yeah.
And, you gotta like do a QT to get them off.
Yeah, the fun fact, I think if you don't throw them off like fast enough, then you just instantly die.
Yeah, they do enough damage
like,
on to kill you pretty fast.
Yeah, it's not in your health doesn't even decrease, but I think like you just go from like yellow health to like dead.
Yeah, this is the biggest skip in the entire run, by the way. We call this the minecart skip. Using Ditman when we're equipped with a TMP, and there's other weapons that it works with as well, but the TMP is the main one we use in the game pro. We're able to just clip for the ground right here as you drop down, and we're just going to be able to skip the entire minecart section. Like, this is usually a very like long auto-scroller section, where you're just like riding a minecart and shooting these enemies, and it takes like 3 or 4 minutes. But with minecart skip and Ditman, like it's like only like a minute 20 seconds long, so it's a massive skip.
Yeah, so if you notice a particular setup I did, it only works on Steam PC 60 frames per second. On any other any other version, 30 FPS or console or anything, there's a different setup for it. It's still faster than riding the minecart. But...
yeah. And the reason for that is because even though like the PS4 and Xbox One versions, for example, do run at 60, they're not like a true 60. They're like 59 FPS.
Yeah, it's like 59 point whatever. And for some reason, I guess that small amount makes it so that
that's enough to make a different set. Yeah, that the setup doesn't work. You have to do a different setup. And that different setup is actually like one of the most recent like major things we found. Before we used to think minecart skip was only possible on Steam, but now that you can do it on every console on every frame rate, it basically just made like almost every world record besides those on Steam obsolete. It was a pretty big moment for this game.
Yeah. Okay, so we're reaching the climax of the castle. So this is the last chapter. We're in the castle.
Yeah, we've been on castle for like over 40 minutes now. It's a very, very long section. And this is the final part of it. This room is pretty tough. So you have this like giant Salazar statue. He's like the Castellan of the castle. He's like one of the main antagonists of the game. Probably, maybe the most memorable villain in this game. He's like the one everyone seems to remember. You're gonna see Trike do some.
This is all on a very tight cycle, by the way.
Yeah, very tight.
Like, it's similar to Del Lago, where it's like when you learn this game, like you just learn to do it the right way, because like messing up here means that like a lot of random stuff can happen, and it's not worth learning through all that random stuff.
Yeah. So. And another thing here is that this QT that we're currently doing, where you're running away from this giant Salazar statue, we call him Captain Crunch as a nickname. This is the hardest QT in the entire game on 60 FPS.
I've actually never heard of Captain Crunch as a nickname for Salazar.
that's a bit of an older one. So this QTE that Trike just did is actually bugged on Steam 60. I think it's bugged also on PS4 and Xbox One, but I could be wrong about that. And Capcom didn't port this game the right way when they made it 60 FPS, or like they took some shortcuts, and as a result, the game expects you to mash that QT much more than expected. So it's very, very possible to die to that QT, both in the speedrun and when you're playing casually. Ooh, Trike got pretty unlucky there and got staggered by that dynamite. And this is another pretty tough section coming up, the elevator section. Hopefully that dynamite guy doesn't control you.
So this is a very precise setup. Like there's a
Yeah.
like I like I learned the setup in a very specific manner. Other people have small variations, but the premise is still the same. You want to be somewhere where here, Mike, actually can you explain it? I want to think of it.
Yeah. So Trike right here is standing in a very specific spot. The spot doesn't matter too much, but you're aiming at a very specific angle so that when you shoot down at these these waves of enemies that drop down, you just instantly knock them off with the striker. It's pretty tough. It's much tougher than it looks. Very, very precise. And the reason we need to shoot these guys off quick, not only is it because like you don't have much space to fight these guys and they can just grab you and hit you and stuff, but it's because if you have more than if you have 2 or more enemies standing on the elevator, then the elevator will actually stop, and that's obviously time loss. So we just want to get them off as fast as possible. So messing up the elevator section is usually like another big like time loss potential.
Because then you end up having to kill them, or you wait for them to get up, then knock them off.
Yeah, and you have to like move to a different spot and like hope they get knocked off. It's pretty bad. Like a lot of runs have died to elevator. I've lost many good runs to it, as well as many other top runners.
And it was recently discovered by one of our veteran runners, Morris, that there is actually an RNG part to the elevator. So like, if the guys that fly off the elevator don't die instantly, it messes up the cycle, and it's like super weird.
Yeah, it'll cost you like 5 seconds if you get the cycle where they all drop down at once and pause the elevator for longer. So yeah, you're gonna see rocket launcher again to shoot this guy. There is another well-known about skip in this room. We call it Salazar skip that you can use to go out of bounds here and just go past the boss. It's only possible though on 30 FPS. So if you're wondering why we're not doing it, it's because it does not work at this frame rate.
Yeah.
And it involves like dropping down at a very specific angle.
I believe it's pixel perfect, I believe.
Yeah, it's pretty precise. But yeah, we just shoot him with a rocket launcher though on 60 FPS. And yeah, we're coming up on the end of Castle and the beginning of the island part of the run. I think a lot of us consider Island to be like the most fun part of the run. And the reason for that is because Island is like the least RNG part of the entire run. Besides one split. There's one split that is very bad. But yeah, Island for the most part is like pretty much all execution, and that's the reason we tend to enjoy it.
Yeah, so this split here, the first split of the island, it's probably arguably the least RNG part of this category.
Yeah, it's basically just all skill and execution based.
So if I get hit or anything that happens, it's like I lied, there is some RNG here, but
yeah, I've died to a Plogus before in this room right here because it was in like a very bad spot and there was nothing I could have done about it. But 95% of the time, there's nothing. It's usually your fault if something happens.
So this is a movement trick. We run forward instead of directly towards the trigger cutscene. Because if we trigger the cutscene fast and then run towards that Gatling gun guy called JJ, he'll opt to swing at us instead of shooting at us.
A lot safer. And you also saw Trike move at like a very far right angle there, so he can manipulate these enemies that's running towards the ladder so he can drop down here. Oh, it didn't work though. It's pretty
It's still RNG. Even if you run all the way to the right, there is a chance.
I don't know how you dodged that little guy.
Yeah, there's a chance of getting hit, which is unfortunate. But I mean, it happens. That's why we have a heal.
Yeah, and he did a bit of a manip there to get that guy by the ladder to point at him. If you run directly at the ladder, he's gonna try and grab you.
Yeah, this is also another manip as well. Invented by our beloved Air Snake, another veteran runner of this community.
I don't consider that strat to be very practical though.
I think it does save time, I'm pretty sure, but and it's as easy as it looks. Which I think everyone
I
should
have to
get
sit
on.
down one day.
Yeah. I guarantee you it would be a very fast sit down.
Yeah.
Oh, notorious guy coming up. Oven Man.
Yeah, this dude who's just been sitting in an oven. I found out recently, actually, if so this guy just dies shortly after he tries to grab you.
Yeah.
And if you inspect the oven itself, Leon will just like,
what
think
is
to
he
himself,
doing
like,
there?
what was he doing there? And it's like, very good question.
Yeah, sort of like those guys in the drill. Like we don't get it, dude. Okay, so the garage door skip or shutter skip is very precise. Like I made it look really easy, but if you go too early or too late, you will not make the cycle.
Yeah, normally you have to kill like these 2 waves of enemies there before like the shutter will completely open and you can like go on. But with it, man, we can just get past them pretty easily.
Oh. Yeah.
Hardest puzzle, by the way. Yeah, this puzzle actually isn't too hard, but doing it precisely and not like messing it up with the inputs is pretty tough, actually. On that puzzle, at least. And here the regenerators are introduced. You see that thing breathing right there? A lot of people probably have nightmares about these enemies. But in the speedrun, these enemies, they can't do much to you. As you see, we're just gonna bait them out and just run past them. Bait out their attacks. They're not too huge of a threat in this category just because they're like really slow and stupid. Besides one, there is one regenerator that is a notorious troll.
Which one?
But the Iron Maiden in 5-2.
Oh yes,
Like
Iron Maiden is
he is a massive troll, but we actually picked up a flash specifically for that enemy, so we can just get past him.
yeah, because there's RNG you could save like a few seconds, but we'd rather just make it reliable.
Yeah, you could like just bait out an attack from this regenerator and like skip out in the flash and save some time, but we don't want to risk our run to RNG this far in. You just want to play it safe and not have to worry about it.
Yeah, so like no major mess up. What? We should be fine.
Yeah, there's another room right here.
Actually,
oh yeah.
Yeah,
You're not really supposed to run on the left side there normally.
Yeah, I didn't quick turn far enough, but don't worry, there is a backup here.
Yeah, there's a backup heal, but this is a pretty dangerous spot. But fortunately enough, we do have some heals coming up soon that Trike can pick up. It's not too bad. Yeah, that's normally what you don't want to have.
Yeah, one of the benefits of playing this game a lot casually is that you know where a lot of backup heals are. Like a lot of speedrunners actually don't, like people that only speedrun the game, they don't know where certain backup items are, which is actually really unfortunate because
yeah, I'm actually kind of guilty of that. I do know where a lot of the heals are from like my early days of running this game because I needed to pick them up pretty often. Like I know about that one. And I know about like some other ones that are in cabinets and stuff, but there's some other ones that I still like I find out about every now and then, and I'm like, oh, that's there. Because like there's no reason to ever pick it up.
Yeah, but so far we get Ashley back, so that's I'd say it's a bad thing, but I don't like her.
Yeah, this is actually the last extended part that we have Ashley for. The only part where she can ever really be in danger.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, this room's pretty tricky because of this shield guy. His hitbox is pretty big. He can just body block you with that corridor right there.
Yeah, so Ashley gets grabbed, it doesn't matter because once we trigger this cutscene, we get her back anyways.
Yeah.
What is that thing?
There's a lot of triggers like this throughout the run where you can leave Ashley somewhere, and then as long as you trigger like this cutscene, she'll just like use her teleportation powers to get back to you really fast.
Wait, follow me.
Okay, so that flash grenade Mike was talking about earlier, the Iron Maiden, this guy, so I'm gonna try it once. Okay, see, so he gave me bad RNG, and like the example is like, you would just throw the flash grenade right away, because that's a pattern you don't want. You want him to swing his arm at you. So that's the pattern you want, because then you can just run past him and you'll be fine. But if he does like the spiky, explodey thing, then then he won't let you
Pretty
through.
much a rip.
Yeah. Okay, so wrecking ball skip. Do you think you have enough time to explain it, or?
I can explain it really fast.
Okay.
So Trike is gonna use a glitch right here to keep Ashley held up here, even though she's supposed to be following you. And it's only possible if you're carrying nothing on a gamepad. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna like put Leon in a very specific spot here while we get the wrecking ball to go, and we're gonna let that cutscene play because that is pretty important. And then we're gonna have Ashley drop down, skip the cutscene, and as you see right here, because the enemies only care about Leon really, because we put Leon in this spot, like none of them are aggro towards him, so they're all just gonna like stand right there. There's a lot of like complex stuff about this room, like a lot of memes that can happen here.
Like
but,
Ashley can get hit, like you or Ashley get hit by an arrow.
yeah. Also, enemies can just randomly get aggroed, even though you put Leon in the right spot and stuff, and like there's a lot of stupid stuff that can happen in that room.
Wait.
But yeah. Pretty clean.
Follow me.
Alright.
Oh, not doing the Ditman strat.
Yeah, it's a strat. I haven't played this game for a while and I haven't looked into it, but there is a faster strat, which...
Yeah, you can use Ditman to get Ashley to do a faster pattern here, and it is faster. Get past this room.
So that's popularized by Frenchie, who's been preaching about it to us, and then only recently did. Frenchie is the world record holder for New Game Plus normal, and then only recently did we New Game Pro runners pick this up.
Yeah, we just found out it was around like 3 seconds faster or something. Maybe like 2-3 seconds faster.
Yeah. And that's a big deal when we're optimizing this run. 2 to 3 seconds is big when it comes to this category because we've done it. We figured this game is probably like 80 to 90% optimized at this point, like in time.
So Ashley has a lot of hidden skills, as we were talking about recently. She can just teleport to you. She has instant transmission. Another thing she can do is she can just drive this truck, like this bulldozer, and operate it like a professional, even though she's probably never driven one in her life. So we're just going to sit in the back of this bulldozer while Ashley drives us to the end of this section. And this is an auto-scroller section as well, so pretty straightforward. Keep you guys off the road. And Trike is actually going to do a specific nip here. He's going to shoot these 2 enemies, and if you stand at the edge of the truck, these enemies behind you won't try and jump on. They're just gonna be huddled up in like a different area.
Rip.
That's gonna cause some enemies to respawn.
Rip
Yeah, this truck is trying to run us over. It came out of nowhere, by the way. There was nowhere this truck could have possibly been.
Actually, the truck could have just caught up from behind us. I actually haven't explored the room that much.
There's like no place this truck could have been at. There's like no space for it at all. It just came out of nowhere. It's like the truck from hell. And as you see here, even though we shot it and it's in flames, it's still coming at us,
Yeah,
man.
you need to make it explode again.
Yeah, this is the hell truck.
Alright, so fun fact, Ashley usually only gets 2-shotted by like a lot of things. Even things that would normally one-shot Leon can only one-shot Ashley. But when she's driving this truck, anything one-shots her.
Yeah.
Like, actually anything. And so I saw a clip, you saw like in the beginning of the game, or like at the beginning of the truck section, where you know, a guy threw an axe, right? And I saw a clip, one of my other fellow No Merchant Pro runners, Lion, it was very unfortunate because the guy threw the axe, and of course he dodged it, but Ashley got hit by it, and then that ended his run, which is, yeah, not much to say about that.
Managed the sniper from 1,000 yards away, man. Like, these guys are professional snipers at some points.
Yeah, especially on 60 FPS. They're like, because the game rate goes twice as fast as 30, or pulls or whatever. The enemies track your location more often, and that's why the people say on 60 FPS the enemies are more aggressive, and like the hitbox is bigger because the game, you know, pulls like twice as fast as well.
So this part of the truck is actually a lot more dangerous than the first half, and the reason why is because there's a lot, the reason why is because the truck stops more often, and because these enemies now can spawn Cloggers, which are those giant tentacle things that pop out of their head. And as you see, there's not much room on the bulldozer, so if a Cloggers does spawn, We're not gonna have much room to deal with it, and it can easily just kill you or Ashley. It's a pretty tragic way to lose a run. You're probably gonna see at least. Yeah, there we go. All right, the Trike got pretty lucky that it died instantly. Yeah, you want to shoot these guys. Oh, all right, we got another August. Pretty unlucky.
Yeah, we should be fine.
Yeah. Yeah, you're good.
Yo, if you get lucky, you can reload during this cutscene. What am I still...
Yeah, which is pretty nice. It helps clear out some ammo out of the inventory. Alright, so this is the end of the chapter. We're just gonna go ahead and buy an additional rocket launcher.
This should be the last rocket launcher we purchase in this game.
No, there's...
no.
Yeah, there's one more you get.
Okay, I forgot.
Yeah.
Hey, fun fact, you can get this gold through the wall.
Yeah, as you're gonna see right here, he's gonna pick up this gold through the stairs.
Oh yeah, you're right. We do buy one more. Yeah.
Yeah. So coming up this split, basically, we lost Ashley again. We're not gonna get her till like the very end of the game now. We're gonna be entering a bit of a boss rush now. You basically have like 2 bosses back to back, and these bosses have like multiple phases. And also, we have the longest unskippable cutscene coming up. Like, this is like movie time, as we like to call it.
This would be a good time for donations. So.
I don't know if we do have donations, but yeah.
No. How's the merchant justified in the lore? We actually don't know. We know he is infected by the plaga because during nighttime his eyes glow red. So I don't know how he's like not being like evil towards us.
Yeah, we don't know why he's like so friendly towards us, man. Like, I don't know. The merchant's like the biggest bro in this game.
After all, you and I both know where we come from.
We don't know if he lives either at the end.
Yeah, even if you kill like one of the earlier merchants, he still spawns. So.
Yeah, there's like some theories about like there being like multiple merchants. And yeah, so I've been theorizing why this cutscene isn't unskippable, and the reason why is because you're doing all these QTEs, and I think the devs considered it a boss fight, and an exploit that they didn't really think about back then, that's really only possible in this more modern versions of the game, is that you can press all the possible QTE options that'll pop out, which on a pad, like a 360 pad, is X and A, and then left trigger, right trigger. You can just mash all 4 of those, like alternatively.
Yeah, and there's no skill involved to skip these.
Yeah, there's like it's completely brain dead. You just like do the QTEs instantly. There's like no skill involved.
Yeah, so that's an oversight. But on the older versions of the game, like the GameCube, like you have to press the right buttons. Otherwise, you just straight up like. Then it won't give you the option to press it if you press the wrong ones, and then you die. Yeah, every time you miss this cutscene, it's an instant death.
Yeah.
So. Alright.
Like I even found with this last QT right here, you can just like mash both the keys at the same time, and like you'll be okay.
Yeah, and technically you only have to mash the second one. You don't even need to mash the first one.
Yeah.
But... yeah, so my game has a little bit of a texture bug. I tried restoring it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you
that
this.
looks pretty weird.
Yeah,
I think I might have seen it once.
Yeah, it actually looks scary. But,
that's creepier than anything in this game.
Yeah. As far as I know, only one other runner, Jimbo, has this issue. So I don't know, like, I don't want to uninstall and reinstall this game, so I'm fine dealing with it. But that weird texture bug only happens in, like, this part of the, like, only this part of the cutscene. So,
does it happen with normal costume as well?
I don't know. I haven't gotten that far with normal costume.
Oh yeah, you're a plebe who does.
Yeah, I can't pick normal costume properly. So.
All right, yeah, this is another part where we just mash. It's always the same QTE on the gamepad. It's like left trigger, right trigger, and yeah, it's to do those really fast. And you can actually run past those past those first 2 lasers if you just run in a straight line of a grenade.
Only on Steam 60 FPS. Otherwise, you cannot skip these lasers. It's another one of the quirks that, like, some stuff works for 60 and not on 30, and vice versa, and it's, like, super weird.
All right, so coming up, we have the first of the two bosses, which is U3, or like Sadler calls it. It's like this scary tentacle monster thing. I think a lot of people consider this to be like the hardest boss casually. I don't know if I agree with that.
That's not Del Lago?
Not in the speed run. I mean casually.
I mean, Del Lago's, well, I guess Del Lago's a pain casually as well, but
Yeah, we're just gonna be using it, man.
okay, I completely like brain farted because I don't remember what I'm doing right now. So just a fun fact, I haven't played this game in like 4 days because I've been working. So, but we're fine. I still got it. All right, so we shoot him there to manipulate him into going up.
Yeah.
If he doesn't go up, then he might give you potentially a very dangerous pattern that you don't want.
Yeah, if you shoot him, it just makes this like minor section like ultra consistent.
Yeah. To be more accurate, you have to shoot him to stun him so he jumps up, and then right after I hit that other switch, he'll jump down around that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a cool trick you can do. I don't know if it works on other versions of the game, but if you position Leon in a precise spot, his arm will clip through the wall.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the grenade through the door.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
And
Yep.
he's gonna use the rocket launcher to kill him in this. This is the final phase of the fight. It's technically like 4 phases, I think you could say. It's a pretty long, drawn out fight.
Yeah, there's 3 phases in the cage, and I guess there's 2 here.
Yeah, you can't properly kill him in the cage. You have to wait till that part of the fight to actually kill him. So that's when we use the rocket launcher. And it doesn't actually kill him. You have to knife him one more time also to like take him to 0 HP.
I don't know if they made it on purpose so that he was would be barely alive after 1 rocket. Like maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, so we get good RNG in these guys. Sometimes one of these guys can run up super fast, and we call that campfire RNG because they're literally just sitting around a campfire the whole time.
Yeah. This is the final merchant of the game. So say goodbye to the merchant, everyone, because we are not going to talk to him after this. Oh, you need to sell first, my friend. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I told you. Yeah. I said I haven't done this in a while. So.
Sell the TMP as well, my friend. All right, so we're gonna sell the TMP. Like I said, we had it for a very long time.
Yeah, so long,
and
beloved friend.
yeah, we're gonna swap it out for a Killer 7, which is this Magnum, which is ultra powerful. And as you see, we started collecting some Magnum ammo that we can use, and the Magnum is just so good. We can use it to just one-shot a lot of enemies in the upcoming sections, and we can use it to get past this one phase of Krauser pretty fast. And this is the Krauser boss fight. He's like Leon's ex-partner, comrade, like friend that we're fighting now, who's infected with the Plagas.
Also, we want the Killer 7, not the Broken Butterfly. One, it takes time to get the free. Wow, I missed the knife. Wow, he teleported fast. What the heck?
Ooh,
oh, that's okay. But
yeah, I would heal to full health. By the way, there's a nerve in that barrel.
I will not heal because I am cool. No, I should have healed there. I didn't realize I was at low health, but
oh, you can just use the herb by the
yeah. But even if I was at full health, like it can still want to KO you, which is really unfortunate. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Oh my god. Rust kicking in.
Yeah, definitely rusty, but it's okay. Okay, good RNG. He threw a grenade. There's 3 patterns there. He either takes out a grenade, a bow, or his own TMP. And we want him to throw the grenade because we can just run by it.
Run in a straight line past it. The other ones require some proper movement. Or if it's the bow, I tend to respect it. It's hide behind the pillar because it can one-shot you and it's kind of random.
Alright, so we get statue skip. So this is a very precise statue push. If you push it too far, then you need to push it again because it won't get in that exact spot. If you push it too little, you won't have enough space to trigger the push in the other direction.
Yeah, so it does save quite a bit of time if you do get that statue push skip. It saves like 6 seconds or something. It depends on like where the statue ends up, but you definitely do want to get like a fast statue.
It does save like 5 to 6 seconds. So like, yeah, it's also another part of the run where like every top runner when they get here and they're on a good run, they want everyone to be like quiet or like they want to focus on just like, because it's an audio cue. It's like 4.5 pushes, or like you hear the statue go 5 times, but like it's a lasting audio cue, so like you want to listen the whole time.
Yeah, the statue itself is like a pretty make or break moment for a good run. And right here we're coming up to the last phase of Krauser, so there are 3 phases to this fight. And so for those who don't know, Krauser is actually he is a weak 2D knife, so we're just gonna lock him in this corner right here and just knife him to death.
So the fun fact is, like, I'm pretty sure, like, you know, like, you're not knifing him is like the intended way that Capcom wanted to do it, so that they probably made it easier to knife him because they're like, oh yeah, it's gonna be like way too hard to knife him. But given the movement manipulation we did, we locked him into the corner, which is, you know, really funny. And everyone that learns about this strat, like when they see it for the first time, their minds are just they're blown away.
You can kill him just insanely fast by just locking him in the corner like that. And coming up, this is the other very random split I was talking about earlier. This split, 3-2 and 4-1 are all horrible. And the reason for that is because there's just stuff going everywhere. It's just so chaotic. Like, look at this. There's like 4 crossbow guys shooting at him. There's like 2 turrets. There's just enemies everywhere, and it's just, it's really bad. You could potentially just lose your whole run or just getting unlucky here because enemies just like keep hitting you.
So far, like, this is actually pretty much perfect, which I'm very surprised about. Because normally, I'd say most people always get it like at least once here.
Yeah, you get hit by like one of the arrow dudes, like a crossbow dude usually. Was that a perfect? Yeah, that was a perfect first section. Very nice. And now we have this room, the triple turret room. We have our helicopter buddy, Mike, not to be confused with your who can help us out here. It is possible for him to shoot one of these 2 sides right here. We want him to shoot the left side. We're going to find out in a little bit which side he's going to shoot. Going to control dynamo guy. Nah, you're good, I think. It's pretty nice. Yeah, this is where the Killer 7's really good. It can just one-shot both these enemies right here. The Broken Butterfly wouldn't be able to do that.
Let's see what
we're gonna find out. We have a good
we got good RNG, yeah.
Oh, nice, yeah.
Although, to be fair, I actually don't know. I think I got here really fast. I'll just wait for him. But yeah, I think... I think I...
So if Mike does shoot this side, it creates this like opening right here, and it kills all the enemies for you. So you can just drop down, and then be right by the door. It saves quite a bit of time, I would say. Like it's so devastating to like be on a good pace, like you're on PB pace or even like world record pace, and then like Mike just shoots the other side, and then kind of screws you over.
Yeah, I think we all are pretty convinced if we reload our Killer 7 around the spot, like if you get to the other side too fast, there's probably a higher chance.
Yeah, you're less likely to get a good mic, so you have to time everything kind of correctly.
Yeah, it's not 100% confirmed, but we have just like a very strong suspicion.
And when we get into that next room, Mike is shot down. We ran past his grave because we're going fast. So yeah, pour one out for the boy. Unless he doesn't give you a good pattern. If he doesn't give you a good pattern, and we spit on his grave.
Yeah, that's fine. He deserves it. I'll buy. I know a good bar.
All right, this is the final hell room. This room is really bad. This is another ultra random room in the run. There's like literally no way of doing this room consistently. Are you gonna get hit? Yep, we did. Okay. So yeah, when you go up that ladder, the chance you get hit is like 80%. It's pretty insane. but there's a possibility you can shoot him with the Killer 7. Because while you are Ditman and you climb up a ladder, the camera is actually locked because it's not expecting you to climb up that fast. And we have a little bit of time to shoot that dude at the top of the ladder, but it's kind of random. And we're using these flashes right here to like clear out the rest of the enemies so we can get a clear line to the end.
Yeah, that was
really
a pretty clean.
That was a clean 5-4.
Yeah. I guess our only good luck within the run.
Yeah, that was like Trike got pretty good RNG on this split. Like it's very possible to lose like 30 seconds on the split, or like even like minutes if you end up dying somehow. And we have Ashley back with us, but it's not gonna be for too long because this is the very end of the run. It's bait that guy, and then that's the end of the split right there.
Yeah, we do a wait follow me there, like we talked about way earlier, that it baits one of the guys. Otherwise, they will be prepped to just smack you in the face.
Yeah, and that lore-wise, that room that we just got out of with that chair in the middle, that is where Leon and Ashley do get the Plagas taken out of their system, and they confront the big bad of the game, Sadler.
That bridge I don't know what I did wrong. I thought I walked back far enough.
I don't think it's RNG. I think you just shot the rocket launcher too soon. But yeah, so Ashley and Leon have the Plagas out of their body now, so we can just kill this dude and go home. Yeah, so for that last rocket launcher, you can actually just be pointed at like any specific direction, and you'll be good. It'll hit Sadler, it'll trigger the cutscene. And yeah, did you discard the?
Yeah, I discarded the Killer 7. I think it's faster. I'm pretty sure it's faster.
Oh, are we not doing jet ski glitch? Oh, come on, Trike.
Oh, okay, you're right. Here, I'm gonna try that again. Oh boy.
We gotta show this to you guys.
I did not know I'd spawn all the way back. I'll be out there.
Yeah, Trike was in the try hard mentality.
Yeah, because this is not an easy thing to do.
Wait, why are you discarding the Killer 7?
Oh, yeah. Okay, it's fine. We'll just run it slow. Sorry, there's wait. No, fun fact. If you try to go back, this whole thing collapses. Yeah. But what we can do, fun fact, we'll just leave Ashley up here. We don't care.
You can just leave her up here.
Yeah, because once we get to the jet ski, you can just reset the checkpoint because you hit a trigger, whether or not you have Ashley, and it'll respawn her next to you, which is really cool.
We're gonna hit this line right here, and that's gonna.
Alright, yeah, with the Ditman, it makes animations faster, so Leon just flies off without her.
All right, goodbye.
Yeah, bye, Felicia. So when you're starting off this game, casually or not, jet ski is actually pretty hard. So jet ski is really hard to do. Like I remember when I was on playing on GameCube, and then I just didn't. Like I died to the jet ski like 3 times, like just trying to finish this game, and it's pretty embarrassing too. But
time is going to be coming up, by the way.
Yeah, time should be
the last cutscene.
Yeah, time is coming now. All right.
Yeah, and that is Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, New Game Professional. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Mike, for taking time out of your day to commentate.
No problem.
Hopefully, you guys learn a little bit more about this game. It's a very fun game, casually or speedrun, and I highly recommend playing it either way.
Hey, Hunnigan, no glasses.
Yeah, the speedrun community is very nice and helpful. Everyone here is like there's only a few people that are lame, but that happens with every community. But I've noticed personally that there's like substantially a lot less lame people in the speedrunning community in general than like other competitive games, which is really nice.
Do check us out again on speedrun.com. We do have a Discord with a ton of resources available if anyone wants to pick up this game. It's pretty easy to pick up, I would say. You have tons of checkpoints and saves you can use to easily practice. It's really, really nice. And again, tons of resources to help you runners out.
135, pretty good considering how I did not haven't been playing this game. So that's good. So my PB is a 130.11, so that's not bad considering how many times I've died and stuff.
Yeah, and we reset a couple rooms as well.
Yeah,
pretty nice.
But yeah, that's it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hit us up in the Discord. Otherwise, have a good day. Enjoy your Sunday. Please watch the other runs. We have a lot of good runs left. And yeah, if you like my stream, shoot me a follow. If you like to speedrun, shoot the Discord a follow. A lot of cool runners. Yeah, that's it. You guys have a good rest of your day.